Some of them I can, but not all of them. Anyways, we're going to look at more practice, domain, and range today. Okay? So we're just going to go over 4, but I'm going to say this again. I suggest you develop a pattern, the pattern that works for me and works every time when you're doing this. I'm going to write up here for the domain, if you will always go left to right. And I need to zero this out for a minute. Okay. And for the range, if you will always go bottom to top on your graph. Okay. The domain is your x-axis. The range is your y-axis. The other thing that I said in the last class is, these signs will change whether you have open or closed, but this number is always going to be the number on the left of your graph on your x-axis. This number is always the number on the right side of your axis. Okay? For y, these numbers will change because sometimes the signs are less than or equals, but it's going to be either less than or equals. But this is always going to be your bottom number, and this is always going to be your top number if you follow this pattern. So it makes it really easy to fill in. So, first one, pretty straight line, pretty straightforward. Okay, I'm going to zoom in a little bit so we all see it a little bit better. Okay, and I guess I will zoom this a little bit. Okay. Let's see. Okay, here we go. So for domain, I'm going to start on my left. I'm going to mark the first time I see the line crossing my domain. Does somebody want to pull down the screen? It'll get rid of that glare a little bit. It will help. It's a little better, isn't it? Okay. And then I'm going to go across to the right. Thank you, by the way. And I'm going to stop here because that's the last time I need a point on my x-axis. So then I'm going to go to domain and put my x. Then I'm going to determine I've got an open circle. So what kind of sign is that? Just a less than. I have a closed circle here. So what kind of sign is that? Less than or equals. Then it's just a matter of where I made my marks putting those numbers. This one's on the left, -5. This one's on the right, which is 0. Next, I'm going to take a different color. I'm going to mark my range. I'm going to start on my y-axis at the bottom, and I'm going to go all the way. It goes all the way up to here. Okay. So this time I'm going to put my y, and I am including this point. There's a closed circle. And I am not including this point because of the open circle. Sorry, I needed a less than or equals on this side and a less than on this side. Okay, then it's just a matter of putting my numbers there. This is -4 and this is 5. Okay. All right, I'm going to do the same ones I did with period 1. So let's look at number 3. Okay, domain. I'm going to start on the left, move over, and it's here because of this. And then it comes over all the way to here because of this. So I'm going to put my x. This is a closed circle. Less than or equals, closed circle, less than or equals. On this side, I'm at -3, and at this side, I'm at 4. Okay. My range, I'm going to start at the bottom of my y-axis, and I'm going to go up. And then I'm going to come up to here, which is the tallest point on my range. Put my y. This is a closed circle, so it's less than or equals. This is also a closed circle, so it's less than or equals. Then it's just my numbers. I've got what here? -3. And what here? 2. Everybody comfortable with this so far?
Yep.
Okay. Let's go ahead and go to number 4. There again, start at the same point every time. I'm going to do my domain. So I'm going to start on the left and mark here, and I come over all the way to here. Put my X. I have a closed circle here, so what sign is that? And on this side, it is a line touching, so it's a less than or equals. Okay, now it's just my numbers, -5, and on this side, I've got -1. Some people are trying to mark both at the same time. I still think it's easier, just do your domain first, then go back and do your range. So then here, I start here because of this right here, okay? And then I go up to 5 because of that up there. Here I've got my Y, and since it's a line touching, it's going to be a less than or equals. And since it's a closed circle, it's a less than or equals. So this is what? My first number on 1, and this is 5. Okay, the ones that confuse people the most, let's look at number 8. Okay. Domain. Shouldn't be a problem with domain. I'm going to start, my first spot is here because of what I have here, correct? And then I'm going to come over, and my last is here because what I have here. So I've got X, I've got a closed circle for here, so it's less than or equals. I've got an open circle on this side, so it's less than. I'm at -3 here, and I'm at 4. Range. I'm down here because of here. And then I go up to here because the line is touching up there. So this and this don't become an issue, okay, if you do them separately. If you're trying to do them all at the same time, then you get confused with that. So Y is, it's going to include it, less than or equals. And Y is less than or equals because it's a line. Got -3. And what am I up here? I'm sorry, -5. My bad. See, -5. And I've got 3. Okay, let's flip the page. Let's find one here that I was thinking more of number 4 or number 2. Because you have an open and a closed circle in the same spot. Let's do number 2. Number 1, you don't have to do this function or not a function line, okay? Just domain and range, okay? So let's look at number 2. The domain shouldn't be a big deal because I'm going from here, and I'm going to come across, and I'm going to go to here, okay? So I'm going to put my X. And I've got a closed circle on this side, so it's less than or equals. I have an open circle on this side, so it's less than. Then it's just my numbers, and I know they're kind of blurry, but you can count from your origin, 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is -4. And on this side, you're over 1, 2, 3, 4, so it's +4, okay? The range is what gets people. So let's start here, and it starts here because of these numbers, right? And it goes up to here. And the question I get asked is, well, what do I use? Because I have a closed and an open circle. less than or equal to. If you have a closed circle, you have to include it. So the range is y. I've got on the bottom less than or equal to, and because the line is going through it, it's less than or equal to. So on the bottom, I have -4, and on the top, I have -2. Are y'all comfortable with that? Okay. I don't think 3 will be a big deal once you do the domain and range like we are right now. If it is, I'm here to help you. Okay? All right? And because you should be able to pretty much get this done in class. I don't think anybody not finish it. So I'm here to help you. I know that this was a struggle. And I know a lot of your test has to do with domain and range. Okay? And so we'll practice this and then you will be ready to go. Okay? Hopefully it'll come a little bit better for you this time.